What is happening, sports fans? It's your main man, Matt, from the DFS 5-pack. I am rocking it solo. It is Monday, June 13th. We got 10 MLB games to talk over. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. NBA Finals are tonight, so nice week of sports starts off right with a full MLB slate and an NBA Finals game. Can't really beat that. Like I said, hopefully everyone had a good weekend, crushed some DFS. I know there was a big MMA slate. There were a few big baseball slates. So again, I had some decent success yesterday on Sunday using the Astros and the Cardinals. Unfortunately, no Yankees, so no takedowns for me over here. The Yankees are just on another one right now, so they're going to be in play every slate they're on. That being said, they are not playing tonight, so at least we don't have to talk about them. We got some other really good spots that I'm excited to go over with you guys. That being said, let me dive in. Alrighty, so pitching options are pretty deep tonight. There's a few really good options. Up top, we've got Sandy Alcantara. He's been phenomenal this year. I mean, check the game log. In tough spots, he's been phenomenal. In easy spots, he's been phenomenal. He's expensive at 10-2. Philly's been good lately. Outside of yesterday, they've been very, very good since they fired Girardi. Their lineup is good. So I don't think I want to spend 10-2 on Alcantara here, but that's the consensus. He's not getting as much love as the other guys up top, and it makes sense. He's expensive, and it's a tough spot. In tournaments, I get it, but on paper, I think he's behind Nola and Manoah. Speaking of Nola, at home, facing Alcantara, always a guy I like pitching at home. The splits this year do not bear that out, but throughout his career, he's been better at home. I like him here at home against the Marlins lineup that he's had good success against throughout his career. He's getting a lot of love, deservedly so. Cash games, you just plug him in and move on, and I completely get doing the same in tournaments. Alek Manoah, and he's been good also. Only 4 Ks last time out, but Casey doesn't strike out a lot. He's not a huge strikeout pitcher, but he's got really good stuff. You check the game log, 20-plus in 4 straight, averaging 21.5 on the season. Good spot at home against the Orioles. I like him quite a bit here. He's high on my short list in all formats. All right, after that, Christian Javier. I can't see using him over the guys above him. I'd rather use Alcantara. Nola and Manoah are easy calls. Lance Lynn, too expensive for his first start back. No idea how long he's going to go. Has not been good in the minors, so no thanks. Even in the plus matchup in Detroit against the Tigers, not interested. Josiah Gray, coming off 2 good starts. He's a guy that's got high upside. He can also get hit. He walks guys. So in tournaments, I get Gray, and I also get the Braves. I like the other guys above Gray too much to go there, but, again, he's got high strikeout stuff. Yu Darvish, coming off probably his best start of the year, was really good at home and against the Mets. Now a depleted Mets lineup with no Alonso or Marte, but nonetheless, still a good lineup. He was awesome. Going back to Chicago here, he's probably my guy in this range. I'm a Yu Darvish fan, and if I were using a guy here, it would be him. I like the guys up top more, but you get a nice discount there, and I see no reason why he wouldn't be at least in play. Alex Wood, more solid than spectacular. Casey doesn't strike out a lot. I'd rather use Darvish, but, at this price, I don't hate Wood either. Brady Singer, no thanks. Merrill Kelly, I don't hate Kelly, under 8K. The Reds aren't an offense I'm afraid to pick on. Mitch Keller, he was really good last time out against the Tigers at home. I'm not going back to that well in St. Louis here. No thanks. I think the St. Louis stack looks good. Getting love as they deservedly should be. Ian Anderson was good last time out. He's been good 2 starts in a row, excuse me. Price increase now. Don't hate the spot. He's another guy in a lot of slates. I think he'd be a really good look. On this one, I just doubt I get there. No thanks on Steele or Hearn or Archer or Flaxen. Flexen's been better at home since he was with the Mariners, so makes me a little bit less intrigued with the Twins, but doubt I'd want to get to Flexen. He is cheap, though, so don't hate it. Bradish, no. Garcia, no. Minor's interesting. He's getting love. He's fully stretched out. He threw 85 pitches last time out. He's way too cheap. We know that Mike Minor's a guy that at least is still worthy of a major league starting rotation spot, at least at this point. He's a guy throughout his career that's been good for fantasy purposes, is a high strikeout pitcher. I mean, as chalk, I really hesitate to go there. But he is way too cheap. It's not like the Diamondbacks aren't getting love against him. So another one where I really get both sides of it, especially given Minor's cheap price point. If I'm making one lineup right now, I'd like to go Manoah and Nola. We'll see if that can happen. You're obviously spending up there. You can obviously make it happen. There's cheap bats all over. Just you can't necessarily load up everywhere, obviously. All right, speaking of loading up at the catcher position, I think the top option is going to be Sal Perez. Wasn't good yesterday, but crushes lefties. Probably a ballpark upgrade for him here, even though San Fran's not really a good hitter's park. I would say the upgrade is I would rather hit in San Fran than KC. Very comparable, though, so not really looking at that. If I can spend up, he's the guy. Let's see who's getting love. Looks like it's pretty spread out. Wilson, pretty spread out. Wilson Contreras getting a little bit of love. He's just affordable. I don't really want to stack guys against Darvish, though. Carson Kelly getting a little bit of love, as I mentioned. Walked twice yesterday. Good to see. I think he's much better from when he was, how he was playing before he got injured. Excuse me. Other guy getting love is Austin Nola. So either him or Alfaro. Don't hate that. Neither guy excites me. The guy that I think I'd like to get to, well, I don't want to get to Maldonado, but I like the Houston stack a lot. And he's been pretty good recently. 4 for his last 7 with a couple doubles and a walk. I like Houston a lot today, so I don't mind getting there. But then if I'm just going to pick out and pluck out one-off catcher, it's going to be Gabriel Moreno. Hasn't been great to start his season, to start his career, excuse me. But this guy is a hitter. Raked all throughout the minors, hitting in a good Toronto lineup. 2,200. I think he's the optimal catcher here in all formats. First base, pretty loaded position today, as most days it is. The top 2 guys as far as ownership are going to be Matt Olson. Atlanta's getting love against Josiah Gray. Olson looks great here. Big power upside. And then Vlad. Toronto looks elite at home against Kyle Bradish. Sign me up. I think those are your 2 cash game guys. In tournaments, I don't mind Joey Votto. He's been a lot better since he was awful to start the season. Christian Walker having a pretty good year for DFS purposes, coming off a nice game yesterday. The guy I like here, though, is Yuli Gurriel. Has always been good against lefties. Had really good at bats yesterday. At 2,900, he's my guy. So if I were making one lineup right now, I would be using Gurriel at first. I like Houston a lot today. They're my top stack on the board. I also like St. Louis. They're expensive, though. They're also getting love. Edmund's been really good to me this year. I always like him atop the order. Didn't even mention Goldsmith, but he's surely in play as well. My favorite second baseman's got to be Altuve, though. 3-run homer in the 8th yesterday. A couple spectacular defensive plays. He's my favorite to be on this slate. And he's getting love, as he should be. Also, Nolan Gorman getting a lot of love. That makes sense. A couple hits yesterday. He's too cheap for his upside. I can definitely get on board with him here. I like Whit Merrifield. And then I don't mind Ketel Marte against Minor. Don't think he'll get a ton of love. Don't forget about Kevin Biggio in your Blue Jay stack. He has actually been better lately. So, that wraparound stack, don't hate that at all. That's about it. All right, third base. Guy getting the most love is Machado. Makes sense. He looks like the top third baseman on the slate. Crushes lefties, facing Dustin Steele. I kind of have a feeling the wind's blowing out there. Let's check it out. No, nothing really. So, I mean, they're just in a good spot. I like Machado a lot here. My drop down is going to be Bregman. Hasn't had a great start to the season, but another guy with great at-bats yesterday, doubled in his last at-bat. I am a fan for sure. Pretty much it here. I don't mind Ezekiel Duran against Christian Javier as a punt option if you want to get down there. All right, shortstop, Bichette's going to be the top guy. As far as ownership goes, he's pulling in the most ownership. It makes sense. Shortstop isn't as loaded as some other positions. He's really good. Toronto's in a great spot, yada, yada, yada. Some pivots. All these guys are pivots. Edman, Swanson, Seager, Witt. I kind of like the idea of some KC pieces here. I don't think they get much love at all. I don't want to like fully sell my soul against Alex Wood, but I just think they'll be way too low owned. Jeremy Pena, he's looking good lately. I've watched a bunch of his at-bats. I like him at 4,300. Ha-Seong Kim in the middle of that Padres lineup. They're going to be popular here, so that makes sense. And that looks pretty much it there. And then as far as outfielders go, four outfielders pulling quite a bit of love here. First and foremost is going to be Acuna. I mean, what's not to like, dude? Just a stud. Maybe the top overall fantasy player when he's healthy. George Springer also getting love leading off for Toronto. That makes sense. Byron Buxton. He's just too cheap, clearly, as evidenced by his 21 plus and 3 straight a couple games ago. Should never be under 5K. And then Tyler O'Neill in the middle of that Cardinals lineup. He is 3,300. Stole a bag yesterday. I mean, he's been good lately. He makes a ton of sense. He's just way too cheap. He could be 4,800 here, and I don't think anyone would bat an eye. So I think those are the 4 main guys you're looking at in cash games, with Harrison Bader also in play, Juan Soto always in play. Ian Happ's been good lately. But as of right now, I think those are the main 4, with Bader, Soto, and I think Jordan Luplow, who's been pinch hit risk here, but he's cheap, good against lefties, coming off a good day yesterday with 3 walks. Don't mind it one bit. In tournaments, I mean, it's all about Houston for me. So give me Alvarez, Tucker, Brantley, whoever it's in, McCormick, Siri. I want Houston exposure here and lots of it. So those are going to be my favorite guys on the board, at least as of right now. I think Seattle, these West Coast games aren't going to get as much love as they should, I don't think. Seattle's in a good spot against Archer. He's not very good. So J-Rod, he's just a stud. Can play him any given day. Talked about the Royals a little bit. Don't mind some Giants either. They have big pinch hit risk, but they won't get any love, and I'm not afraid of Singer. Juan Yepez is another guy I like. I think he probably gets left out of a lot of Cardinal stacks. Was really good for me on Sunday. Don't hate it at all. Sunday was yesterday. I get my days confused now. Yeah, there's cheap guys all over. None being better than Tyler O'Neill, but, I mean, you can find them basically anywhere. Yeah, so obviously we'll have to wait and see lineups to see if we get any of these really cheapies. But, I mean, you'll have like an Azakar. If Rooker's still up. I don't think he's even still up. But Azakar will be in the lineup. Jason Hayward, who's actually been decent lately, he'll be in the lineup, most likely. Yeah, so that's all I got for you guys. Fun slate, though. I'm excited to play this one. I'm around all afternoon if you guys have questions and all that jazz. If you want more info, more content, more videos, any of that stuff, go check out the DFS 5-pack. We'd love to have you. With that being said, I'll catch you guys on the flip side tomorrow. Thanks again.